per-served basis. Participants can register on site and will be given a number that will hold their place in line. And Ohioans will be able to fish for free without a license at hundreds of fishing locations starting tomorrow. This is the only weekend of the year residents 16 and older can fish without buying a license. Now, the state says these annual free fishing days are an excellent opportunity for beginning and experienced anglers to try fishing in any of Ohio's public waters. Responding to an emergency that is man-made or a natural disaster is difficult for any family or person, but it can be even more challenging for those with disabilities, especially if they are not getting the information they need. A mom with a 9-year-old son with autism told lawmakers they had trouble getting information about the train derailment in East Palestine in February. They live only 5 miles away. She learned after sending her son to school that morning that the building was later evacuated.
Evacuating disabled kids from their schools and hoping that they will navigate their way out of harm's way in an emergency is simply not enough.
There is now a bill in Congress aimed at giving people with disabilities and older Americans more of a voice in emergency situations.
And now, your Storm Center 7 forecast with meteorologist Robert Gauthreaux III.
So you were talking about the fishing story. You said you had something to say.
Yeah, tomorrow's weather, should be pretty nice, but based on the solar calendar, should be some good activity tomorrow. So I give tomorrow an A+ based on the fishing forecast, and that includes weather and the nibbles you can expect to get tomorrow. Maybe we'll see a little bit more sunshine tomorrow. We're hoping to see a little bit more of that today. And finally, we're at least seeing some clear skies, clear rain skies. I mean, there's a few clouds out there, but generally a quiet night. Certainly a little bit on the cool side. Xenia right now, dry roads, just a few cars riding around down there in the city of hospitality. 63 degrees the temperature right now. Winds, they're light, but they're still out of the northwest. Just about 3 miles per hour, but that's helping to keep things a little bit, again, on the cool side. You can see some places already in the 50s, 55 in Urbana, 59 in Greenville, 66 in Oxford. Looks like a little bit warm down that way. Now, if you compare the temperature to this time yesterday, we are still a little bit cooler. And again, a big reason for that is because, one, we had the cold front move through. That's what brought us some showers, or a couple thunderstorms even, but not to mention, we just were pretty cloudy all day. So while the sun was shining, we did warm up. It really just kind of protected us from the heat of the sun. And then now that the clouds are gone, for the most part, that will allow whatever heat we did accumulate to radiate back out into space. So it should be a little bit cooler tonight than what we had at least earlier this morning. Not by too much. Today we at least got up to the 70s. 73 degrees was the high temperature in Dayton. Richmond stayed in the 60s. So did Urbana. But everyone else basically got into the low 70s. Now, over the next 24 hours, we're going to drop into the mid-50s, low 50s probably even in Dayton. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a couple places getting into the upper 40s, especially up in our northern counties. Tomorrow, we're going to be in the upper 70s and even just briefly getting into the low 80s. So, arguably slightly less than average, but pretty seasonable for this time of year. And as we get closer to the weekend, it's actually looking drier. A few days ago, we had a stray shower for Saturday. That's looking less likely. Heck, that's even looking less likely for Sunday. So the forecast is looking nice for your weekend. But don't worry, if you need rain, which a lot of us do, especially our southern counties, we'll likely get a good chance of that heading into next week. Futurecast shows, again, those clearing skies. And then as we move into Saturday afternoon, looking pretty nice. Really just a few passing clouds, and then similar story for Sunday. Again, the forecast isn't looking bad, but I know some of you want to see rain. Well, here you go. Here's the 7-day forecast. You can see starting Monday and really most of next week, we have the chance for a few thunderstorms. Now, these are isolated storms. You may not see rain at your house every day, but there's likely a chance for a couple showers, a couple thunderstorms to pop up on the radar throughout the week. Not necessarily severe weather, but just kind of a seasonable June forecast with highs in the 80s, lows in the low 60s.
Thank you, Robert. Tonight we're looking at the Underground Railroad safe houses right here in the Miami Valley. We'll show you how homes and people in our area help people who are seeking freedom. Wildbird's Unlimited.